Okay, today we're working on a project for some customers of ours up in Banff. They've got a built-in office desk cabinet system, and they want to replace the countertop. So we're going to take this old reclaimed wood, we're going to mount it on top of a piece of 1-inch plywood. It's a custom, unique, kind of weird shape thing. We're going to put some 3/4-inch edging on it. Then we'll cover it with black filler and polyurethane and take it up to them. I've already taken the wood and resawn it down to about 3/8 of an inch. Now we're going to head over to the planer. I'm going to square up the bottom, plane off and square up the bottom of my wood in relation to the top of it. Then we're going to flip it over, expose some of the saw blade marks, expose some of the character and some of the wood that's hiding underneath all this dirt and grime. Okay, we've milled all the wood down. It's nice and flat on the back. It's uniform on the top. We've left a bunch of the saw marks showing with our skip planing. This stuff's gonna take our stain or our filler really good afterwards. If any of you have watched my videos before, you know the exact next step. We wanna take this stuff and square it up. We wanna get one straight line down one side, so when we go and mount it on the plywood, everything matches up just nice. I almost always use the Makita track saw for this. Again, I'm not paid by Makita, nobody sponsors me. This is the real tool that I use. I actually bought it on Amazon. I will put a link below in the description that shows you how to buy this exact saw. I have pretty much all the accessories that come with it. I've got the 10-foot track. I'll have that in the link. I've got a 5-foot track. They also have a joiner, a little unit that you can join the 10-foot and the 5-foot, or if you have two 10-foots. When I'm making really long ceiling beams or really long tables and stuff, that comes in handy. And then Makita's got two little clamps that you can use to hold down the track when you're doing your cuts. I use them sometimes and sometimes I don't. I love this tool. It's one of the most used tools in my shop. So all I'm going to do now is take this track. I'm going to set up just barely along the edge. I'm just eyeballing it. And I'm going to use the track saw to trim one side flat. I'm going to do it to all the boards. Then I'm going to take them to the table saw and cut them all straight and parallel. Then we can bring them back and start mounting them on top of the plywood. That's all we take off, just a tiny bit. And then we've got a nice straight line on one side. No joiner, no nothing, no fuss, just a track saw. They're not the cheapest out there. I think the Makita is $400 and something or $500 or just under. All the stuff will cost you a little bit. I think Triton maybe makes one or something. When you're on Amazon, you can look, like you click on the link, it'll take you to this one and then they'll show you a few other options. DeWalt makes one. Obviously Festool does, but it's more money, and I think Triton or something makes one. Anyway, I haven't tried some of them out. I love this Makita one. The irony about the Makita tools is they're my favorite tool, but to be honest with you, that's my least favorite color. I do not like the color of it, but I love the tools more than I dislike the color, so I use the tools. We're going to cut down this piece of 1-inch plywood to the shape of this desktop. It's kind of a weird one. It's sort of shaped like the boot of Italy. Okay, so I'll cut that out with the track saw, and then we've got the template for the bottom, or I guess the underside of the desktop, and we'll nail our boards on top. Glue and nail our boards on top. Okay, to finish off this little crotch corner cut right here, I grabbed the Makita multi-tool and I just finished those off instead of overcutting and having the saw blade mark stick over. Told you it looked like Italy. Okay, the base is cut, the boards are all milled and ready to go on. It's time to glue and nail these down. I'm going to use LePage PL Premium, this 3 times stronger stuff. I like it for a number of reasons. You should wear gloves. It does get all over your fingers and doesn't come off very easy. I actually buy this stuff from Jeff Bezos, right off of Amazon. I actually buy quite a bit of stuff off of Amazon for one reason alone, and it's something that economists call opportunity cost. I'm about 8 minutes from Home Depot, I'm 8 minutes from Home Hardware. I'm about 12 minutes from Home Depot. So a round trip, if I don't stop and eat sushi and I don't do anything else, is anywhere from 16 minutes to a half hour, and usually I do stop and eat sushi, so I'm an hour out of the way. And the opportunity cost is what I could have done with that time here in the shop if I wasn't driving and spending gas and stuff like that. So I generally use a lot of the same stuff over and over and over again. It's already in my Amazon profile. As soon as I kind of see that I'm getting empty, I just go back to my profile and reorder it. Anytime I can spend not out driving around getting stuff and in the shop working and doing stuff means I'm not spending money on gas and means I'm making money making stuff. So kind of as a general rule, I sort of look on Amazon, see if I can find it, or another online retailer. A lot of my stuff though I do get. I will put a link below to this stuff that I use in the description in the video. But I'm just gonna lay down a pretty good, I don't know what you call it, back and forth pattern. And then I've got brad nails and we nail it down. The brad nails just kind of hold it nice and in place. As I put it down, I will kind of squish the board and move the board just to kind of level everything out and get it into all the cracks and grooves, and then tack it down. Okay, so I've left all these boards hanging long on every side, back and on the corners of the deal, except this very front piece. I actually started putting them all along the front piece. When they come and sit at the desk, this is actually where the chair rolls up to. And so I wanted to have this be a full board right here. There's gonna be some edging that goes up against it. Same thing here on this angle piece. But now I'm gonna flip the whole thing over and then use the track saw to trim all this stuff. Exactly, I could have taken the time to cut each one of those pieces individually, you know, mark it out from the bottom, take it to the saw and then set it in. And if I did a really good job, I'd probably be pretty close to perfect. But now I can flip it over, use the plywood itself as the guide, set the track right on it, and just plunge the depth down just that 1/4 inch more and trim all these off, and then they'll all be along the exact same straight line. It makes for a real nice cut. And when I come put my edging on afterwards, it all lines up just perfect. Okay, moving right along, it's time to give this baby a sand. I forgot to push record, but I did put some nosing on the front edge of this. It was the same stuff that I made these top planks out of, and so I milled it down to 3/4 of an inch. It's 1 3/8 inches tall. I made sure the backside was nice and flush, and I've glued and nailed it on. And now I'm going to give this thing a quick rough sand before I put the filler on. For that, this is the handiest sander I've ever had. I have other palm sanders as well, but this one is a 6-inch orbital sander. It does the Rotax type thing as well. This is actually the Makita BO6050J, and the reason I know that code is because I get asked about this tool more than anything. I actually also bought this one on Amazon. It's not one that's usually carried in most of the stores, and I saw it on some, I don't even know where I saw it. I saw it somewhere online, and I was like, I didn't know Makita made that. So sure enough, I went online, and there it was, and they had them on Amazon, and so I bought it. I will put a link, ouch, I just got a sliver. I will put a link in the description below, so if this is something you want to get into, I love it. It takes up a lot of material quick. You can adjust the speed so you can get more aggressive or not. It's got a nice vacuum port, keeps the dust down, and like I say, you can switch it from random orbital sander to the Rotax one, and that one really takes off a lot of material. You got to hold on with both hands for that one. So I'll sand this one down, and then we'll get ready to put some filler in.